Now let's discuss this with Daniel McAdams, the Executive Director of the Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity. Daniel, it's good to have you join me now. Now, a legal case against Donald Trump has just been withdrawn right after the assassination attempt. What do you make of the timing?
Well, I think it was inevitable that would happen. There have been plenty of questions about the legality, the constitutionality of hiring the special prosecutor in this case. I think it's a coincidence that it happened the day after or 2 days after the assassination attempt. I think it was inevitable. But we see a pattern beginning from basically 2016, where everything they've tried to throw at Donald Trump, the two impeachments for things that were completely within his constitutional purview, particularly with regard to foreign policy. The second one was over January 6th, which they called an insurrection, which was not an insurrection, was a protest. Everything they've tried to throw at him has not stuck. And every time they try to throw something at him and it slips off of him like Teflon, he ends up looking better to his devoted fans. So you think that they would learn by now after 6 years or so of this that this isn't the way to approach. But seeing Biden say turn down the temperature, that's the arsonist pretending to be a firefighter. He's the one responsible for this. He's the one that said we need to put a bullseye on Trump. That's pretty specific when he said that 2 days before Trump was shot.
All right. Now, Trump has hinted that Joe Biden might urge the Justice Department to dismiss 2 other cases against him. What role could the Democrats under Biden have played in Trump's legal troubles ahead of the election this year?
Well, as Lionel said earlier on your program, a great legal analyst, they're using Lawfare. And when Lawfare failed, they're using actual literal warfare against former President Trump. Every single thing that they have tried to put on him. And in fact, the immunity case that just was settled in his favor a week or so ago that really probably led up to this was because, and it was specifically in the Supreme Court decision, it was pointed out that this is because they were using this lawfare to go after every single thing that President Trump did, not only in the exercise of his duties in the civil case, but in the criminal side. So, once again, everything they've done has backfired.
Now, how might the decision to drop the case bolster Trump's long-standing claims of being a victim of a witch hunt?
It helps him. He's able to say this whole thing's, as you say, has been a witch hunt. We saw President Biden get off with the same classified documents. He didn't have a raid of armed FBI agents coming to Biden's home in Delaware. No, you saw a CNN was there for the armed raid on Mar-a-Lago down in Florida. The point was to show Trump as being a criminal. Well, it didn't work. Biden did the same thing, and we saw now that the prosecutor said, well, he's kind of old and forgetful, so we're not going to prosecute him for doing this. So people are not stupid. Americans are not stupid. They see that the fundamental unfairness of our legal system at the moment.
Now, with tensions between Republicans and Democrats already high, do you think this court ruling will deepen the divide or help ease the political polarization in the United States?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, I think it also, I think in a way it's overshadowed by the raw emotion that's been touched by the assassination attempt. I think this actually may even be buried in the news cycle, although it is very significant. It may be buried in the news cycle. We're going into the Republican National Convention. President Trump has just survived an assassination attempt. To a lot of people, it looks like there was at least a very massive failure on the part of the Secret Service. Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater and a former Navy SEAL, said it was either gross incompetence or malice. People are starting to ask a little bit more about that second part. There are many questions that remain unanswered. I think this is primary in the minds of the Trump voter, and I think necessarily it's not going to turn Biden voters over to Trump. But what it's going to do is shore up a lot of people who are kind of wishy-washy on Trump. Hey, I got problems with the guy, but look, he's able to stand up and raise his fist after being shot. I kind of admire that heroism, and I think a lot of Americans are going to feel that now.
All right. Now, will this court decision force Trump's critics to reconsider their strategies or narratives going forward? Do you think so?
No, it's just like with our foreign policy. Janet Yellen said it yesterday. Well, all the sanctions we put on other countries have actually hurt us and not them. And so the solution will be more sanctions. All the weapons we've given Ukraine has not weakened Russia. In fact, it's weakened us. The sanctions on Russia have weakened us and not Russia. They never learn from their mistakes. That's the problem with these people. That's the problem with Washington elites. They live according to a circular logic where they can never think outside the box. They can't look at the world like you and I do, like normal people do. So they're going to continue making these mistakes until they're finally, hopefully, pushed out of office.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Daniel McAdams, Executive Director of the Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity. Thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.